Alright, welcome back to the big one. This is our own invitational, guys. It's pretty sick stuff. We got 16 players playing out over these next 2 days. We're doing 2 groups per day because we go crazy like that. But it is worth noting this is the first match of Group A. So if Bomber falls here, if Byul falls here, they've still got a loser's match to fall back on. The following series will be JYP versus Oz. And of course, we'll have Todd to come join us on the broadcast for that. For now, though, spawning on the leftmost side of Catalina, it's going to be the Red Terran player, Bomber.
In the bottom right, oh, Bomber. In the bottom right, as the blue Zerg, it is Byul. And oh, that Overlord.
Big shout out to Leoman, just threw a $10 donation our way. That's pretty awesome, dude. Thank you kindly for that.
Me too.
I wasn't sure if he was going to go for the full on 11-11, but looks like, yeah. I thought maybe he was just scouting early, like he wanted to know 3-player because he did no scouting last game, but this is straight up an 11-11. Now, the position he's choosing to do this in, guys, is because this is, of course, a 3-player spawn map. Byul could spawn here, or he could spawn here. Sadly, Bomber doesn't quite know where. Although, oh no, it's like the Lily Canine build. The Lily Canine build?
If Bomber's doing 11-11, that's pretty old school. Usually now they do a 12-12. But yeah, the gas gets thrown down, so it's gonna be a Reaper, not an 888, something in between.
Right, so this is kind of funny. I don't think he's actually going to do the Lily Canine build, but if you guys saw the WCS EU Challengers, or sorry, qualifiers for Challenger League, we cast one Terran player from Europe named Lily Canine, who every single game on this map, every single TvZ, opened with a a barracks into a reactor into a second barracks into 3 Reapers at a time, and those snowballed out of control very quickly. I don't think Bomber's going to be doing precisely that, but we are going to see a Reaper come out here, I imagine, because Proxy Marauders are not really a TvZ strat. But alright, he's going to get a nice scout off with the SCV. He'll scout this right away. What is kind of nice about this, by not making this an 11-11, you don't really cut a lot of workers for it, as we see he's still getting that 15 orbital up. And oh, this bunker's in a sweet spot. It is going to get seen, so you're going to have to deal with it. But this bunker wasn't really necessary to the attack. This is meant to just kind of be a safe haven for the Reaper, give him some high ground vision too, if possible. So if this doesn't complete, it's not the end of the world for Bomber, but if it does, he becomes much more deadly with it. Oh, SCV, no! Oh, I forgot to mention Take TV. I should probably tell them if they're hearing it.
You know what? Just let them ask.
Let them figure it out.
They're gonna go crazy, right? Just being like, what is that?
Like, yo, Naruto, do you hear that? It's like, I don't know, boss. I don't know.
And then when they ask you, you're gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so this first Reaper really doesn't get a lot done, sadly. But it's not really intended to do a whole lot right now. If it gets joined by a third one, which looks like, yep, it will be, that's when you start getting a little more killing power. There's some cool terrain here in Catalina, guys. There's kind of the bug you've probably seen on Reddit about the cliff jumping. Sadly, doesn't work on this base. It's one of the only bases it doesn't work on. But what 3 Reapers are able to do? Well, 2 Reapers for now are able to trade out with a Queen. The idea is you got to really level through those lings if you want to kill that Queen. As we see, it's trading out really nicely, but Byul, with that other Queen popping out, is not exactly in grave danger of losing this first one. Not until that 3rd Reaper comes out. And there's 10 more lings to support this.
Yeah. But Bomber is kind of, he's letting up on it. Obviously, he's getting command center. With 1 barracks, he really, he started accruing money. He's also done that factory.
Oh, wow. Just wanted to support the stream. Keep up the good work. $50 coming in from Mad Tulip. What a generous soul. Holy crap, dude. He subbed today and he donated. Thank you kindly, man. But, yeah, okay, so Byul's got too many links to work with. Is kind of the scary thing here. Oftentimes you see Zerg players underreact to this amount of Reapers, and they do start bleeding out the Queens. And it snowballs very, very quickly. But Bomber, did he see the gas timing? No. So he doesn't know that it's the 6-minute clock, but I think he knows internally. I mean, he's got the barracks on the way back home. As we get close to that 6-minute mark, yeah, the Reapers are just going to abandon ship on the aggression here. Because this is pretty standard, guys. I mean, if a Zerg player takes a gas early enough without going for something cheesy, 6 minutes, that's your standard speed timing. And that's when, sadly, lings become a little too much to deal with. Right,
yeah. Bomber goes into a starport after this, and I always like this decision. Whenever you open with something a little cheesy, a 2 racks, an 888, what Bomber did, just by getting probably Banshees, I would expect Banshees, you really just, it's like a sense of comfort where, a tank is a little too expensive, a little, you want your Hellions, you don't want a tank. A Banshee takes care of a lot of things. It only delays your stim and medevac push by a few seconds.
This is sadly too many links for these Reapers to deal with. I mean, they can sit in the high ground, but there's no full wall off, so this is a little bit awkward. I mean,
the full wall off on the front is really
Well, that's what I was saying.
Oh,
Like,
this
the
is that.
command center was here.
Go, put the supply depot down. Oh my god, put the supply depot down. What are you doing to me?
I don't know. We're gonna see what happens with that. He was gonna pick up the first couple links here, but as we see, guys, there's far more behind this. Hitlings are on the way, but okay, with an inch name bait, that'll block it out. I was gonna say a full supply depot wall is not actually possible here, not with 3 at least, because he built that one over for the command center.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
I
I'll lose this supply depot.
Yeah, kind of sucks.
Oh, and this is the Reaper? No,
Nope.
stays Reaper.
Nice save. You'll lose an SCV for it though. So not at all unscathed for this. Viking's gonna start cleaning up a couple overlords, perhaps.
Oh, go Banshee. Not just a Viking too, but also a medevac, so potentially some Hellion drops.
Yeah, I think he's gonna elevate the Hellions up. This is a really cool place you can do it over here. But Byul has done something we actually haven't seen a lot of Zerg players start doing. That's spreading creep within his main. Because there's so much dead space on this map. Because it's so easy to drop. I mean, just earlier yesterday, we saw Xenocider tearing people apart, doing tons of drops through various matches, and Catalina is no exception to this. There's plenty of opportunity for dead space drops.
Yeah,
looks like those will be Hellions. You know, I like that he's trying to rush the wall out now, but it's still, yeah, gonna require that second engineering bay. This is always so scary to have on the front lines. Like, we talk about it, and it really hasn't come into effect yet. But like, there's going to be that one game where you're like on your way to 3-3, and it gets taken down.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I've seen Ryung games, because Ryung is one of the guys that always is an injury block at the front.
Yeah, but Ryung also
he's lost it.
He also rebuilds them in the main and ends up having like 4 engineering bays. These Hellions gonna be somewhat unable to do any damage here. The Queen's actually gonna drive back the medevac as well. God, there's a lot of Queens for this to deal with, but pretty standard amount. I mean, I guess the nice thing is he did manage to squeeze out a 3rd base behind it, so Bomber's about to find out about it.
I don't think you can really do it just how. I mean, well, actually, drone transfer now. The links are there. Oh, the Viking landed. I was like, what does that sound?
Yeah, we get a couple good volleys off here. Nothing too insane just yet, but this medevac is getting dangerously low. Queens don't have the highest DPS in the world, but it's enough. I like these links still checking up here for the 3rd. So just trying to keep an eye out for when he can perhaps get a little bit of damage done. Yeah, I don't know. Bomber is in a bit of a fickle spot, I'd say. He's not really in a position where he can do damage. If he tries to max out, you know, I hope he's not having horrific flashbacks from last game. I think last game was a pretty bad example, though. Like, you know, maxed out Terran goes across the map, loses the game.
Right, well, that last game, I didn't really talk about it afterwards, but the fact that his wall off was late and then awkward, I think, was a surprisingly big deal. I mean, usually if a wall off is late or you don't put down a wall off, some people do that, you just assume that nothing's gonna happen because you don't have that many games where a Ling counterattack actually does a lot of damage. But, you know, obviously that's exactly what happened. Byul really took advantage of the fact that there was no wall for a long time.
Alright, so there's some Banelings here to defend. This might be enough. There's still slow Banelings, even on creep though, with those Hellbats coming in. They're gonna soak a lot of those hits. Lings actually will flood in and find. Byul always finds a way to catch Bomber off guard with this, man. He's pretty good with this. SCVs at the 3rd are gonna go down without question. He's trying to focus fire down the Banelings. Actually, love
Marines
the focus
first. Fire. Oh, good control. Oh, but the command center has to be lifted. Oh, please. Oh my god,
can't afford to lose
please.
this. He's so busy focusing on the 3rd base on the other side, he's gonna lose his 3rd. A 3rd for a 3rd's not worth it when you're playing against Zerg, and that kind of rhymes, so that's kind of cool by accident. Mule was dropped on the front line. Was that to repair, I guess? I don't know. But these Marines sadly gonna have to be picked up. Combi Shields is not done for this push. Bomber loses everything. Wow, that is gonna be a GG. Yikes! Byul's gonna take a 2-0. And like, the 2-0 is not what gets me. It's that Bomber. Oh, both games, man. That was disheartening to watch.
Couldn't handle the counterattacks. He was like, oh, filthy Lings.
Okay.